I am by no means an expert. Matter of fact, it would probably be more simple to say that I'm a complete and utter novice at chickens. This is the first time I've ever tried to raise them in my life, and I got on YouTube and actually got on Google and did like massive searches for days and days and days to try and find out exactly how I was going to be able to raise chicks when I'm 100% off the grid without heat, without a regular heat source on a regular basis. And hopefully this will get you there as well. Like I said, I am not an expert on this, but this is what has worked for me. And there's a lot of other types of solutions that you could use out there, because Lord knows I found a ton of them. But I think that of all of them, this has been the simplest one for me. The chickens are doing absolutely fantastic. I just moved them into their bigger brooder / tote that I just picked up today. And they seem pretty darn happy. They seem to be getting along, and they seem filled with a ton of energy, and I'm enjoying it. Hopefully this will help you in the future. I'm Sean in Alaska. Enjoy. These little guys seem to be doing pretty good, and I was really concerned about raising chicks, because I don't have electricity, even though I have a light on here next to me. I'm 100% off the grid, so I really couldn't afford electrically to run a heat lamp for them. The temperature outside right now is 26 degrees. The temperature up above in the sleeping loft is 72 degrees. So down here is probably, I don't know, maybe 68, 65. It's not that chilly at all. So here's the solution I came up with. First of all, I've got them in the plastic tote there, and I've got the lid partially, I don't know, what, 3-4 inches? Try and stay out of the light here. Maybe 3 inches open, so that it kind of keeps most of the warmer air in there that they generate themselves. And then I've got, back out of the light again, I've got a buddy heater that I'm running and facing towards the coop. So it's actually very warm right here. But it's not overly warm. It's not hot. It is kind of hot on here. But I don't run this all day long like that. So when I go to work, I just take this buddy heater and I turn it away from the pen or from the brooder, so that it just keeps generating heat. And these guys do fine with it. So I picked them up on, what, Tuesday? Today's Saturday. I picked up 11 chicks, and I still have 11 chicks. They're doing absolutely fine. So I don't understand what the whole deal is with the heat lamp, because I live in a very cold climate. And there's been a couple of days when it's been pretty chilly in here. I saw a bunch of different things besides the heat lamp, where people were heating jugs of water in coffee cans and putting them in there, or doing heating the rice up method. But that doesn't do me any good anyway, because I think you're supposed to do that in a microwave. So I didn't even look at that one any deeper. And it could be the breed. These are Rhode Island Reds, but they're completely happy, running around playing, having a great time. Okay, this should be rather interesting, because I just got these guys. Hi dudes, how are you? How are you? Let's see what happens now. So I originally ordered 12 of these cute little things. But when I went to pick them up, only 11 had made it. And I have no idea what I'm doing. other than some stuff that I've read. How you doing, dudes? Hey. Hey. Oh, shush, 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 shush. Oh, shush, 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 shush. I think I'm supposed to get that little dude to take a drink. There we go. Put your little beak into it there. Okay, let's get another one. Guys, relax, okay? Relax. Gotta clean you. There we go. There we go. There you go, dude. Get yourself a drink. There you go. So basically what I'm doing here is moving them out of this box into their temporary home. And I've got some water in there, so I'm not going to put any food in there till I'm sure they're drinking some water. And I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there, the raw unfiltered from Bragg's. Because a couple of these little dudes have what they call pasty butt. You, my friend, are next. Thank you. Oh, you got a pasty butt. What about you? You're clean. And so the ones that have the pasty butt, I'll clean up before I put them in there. What you? You need a clean. You need a clean. You need a clean. You need a clean. And you're good. There we go. Okay. So, pasty butt is not something I was looking forward to having with the chickens. But I guess, you know, it's something that happens. And this is what it looks like. So they basically get poop stuck on their butt, and they can't take care of business. And it'll kill chicks. So this is going to be the tough part for me, keeping them warm. Everything I've read says that chicks, need to really be kept warm the first few weeks because they can't regulate their own body temperature until they get true feathers. And I have a problem keeping things heated up in here. So this could be an issue. I fully expect, I mean, we lost the one when I went to pick him up. He was already gone. And I can't help but think after looking at, half of these with an issue of a pasty butt that, that had something to do with it. But like I said, or like I was saying there, I fully expect that I'll probably lose a chick or two. I don't want to, but I figured that I would do this even though, like I said, I don't have heat in here, because chickens have survived for millennium before we ever had heaters. So I'm thinking that they should be able to survive in here. Hi guys, how we doing? Hi. Okay. You guys probably want something to eat though, huh? Well, let me get a jar and I'll get some food in there. I just want to make sure you have some water first. A couple of them are pretty big. A couple of them are pretty small. But like I said, this is a complete experiment. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. I'm thinking it will. And I'll move the paper towels on the bottom because they're going to be easy to change out for the first couple of days. Cool. All right, let me get a canning jar together for the feeder that I got. So you just fill the jar with food and then flip it upside down in there, and then they can auto feed. I like anything that auto feeds. I'll put this. Actually, I'll leave the apple cider vinegar down. I'm probably going to be using it soon. Chick starter here. All told, I have I spent $78 today. So, well, $75 today, because the feed here, the chick starter that I got, was $21.99 a bag. And the chickens were $36. And then the feeders, I don't know that I should really count those because I'm going to reuse them again and again. This was a sourdough starter container, and also it originally was a quart of raspberry kombucha. So let's see if I can figure out where the food's at. Ooh, that's pretty toasty warm, but they seem to be pretty happy with it. I'm gonna back that off a little more. It's like way too warm for me. And you, what are you doing over here by yourself, dude? So they got water, they got food. I think they got enough room in here to begin with. I'm a complete rookie. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I've read a ton of little books on it. Oh, shoot. So I'm hoping that those books that I read will be accurate on what needs to be done for them. So I don't know what to expect. Never done this before in my life. Have no idea. Like I said before, I originally had 12 chicks ordered, but when I went to pick them up today, one of them was already dead. And then these ones had 4 or 5 of them had, you know, some pretty serious pasty butt, I guess is what you'd call it. They look like they're doing okay right now. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I have no idea. It's a learning experience, right? Thank God for Facebook and all the people I know who raise chickens. Should be cool. They're all chirping. So they seem relatively happy, except for this guy over here. He's all by himself. He just freaking doesn't want anything to do with his brothers. We'll see if he livens up any. I did throw some crumble down on the bottom, and they started pecking at it, which is a good sign. I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is cool. You guys just gonna go to sleep? Had a busy day, have you? Kind of tough here. You have no idea what you're doing with this idiot in Alaska. I know. I really know. I should, though, get you some crumble, shouldn't I? Should get you guys to eat something. Okay, so originally they were all piled up against the side there where the heat was. But I think they've relaxed a bit and started to calm down because they found the feeder. They're starting to move around and play around. That's a good sign, I think. They're so cute. These are Rhode Island Reds. So they'll lay a brown egg, and they're a dual-purpose bird. So you can use them for egg layers, and they're pretty prolific egg layers, or you can use them for meat. But to start off with, eggs are what I'm after on this first experiment. I'd say they settled down and they're starting to enjoy themselves. They've been jumping around, they've been playing. They've been walking around. And in case anybody's concerned, I do have the lid partially off, so they get plenty of air inside. First night on the property with the chickens. And I did go ahead and change out their liner and everything today. And they devoured that bottle of food. That was crazy. There was a bunch on the bottom, so they picked a bunch of it out. The water yesterday, I had the apple cider vinegar in. Today I put 1.5 tablespoons of sugar in there to give them a little more boost, a little more energy. Didn't lose any last night. Didn't lose any today while I was at work. That's a great sign. They seem pretty happy. We shall see. So my setup for keeping the chicks warm without a heating lamp is really, really simple. I've got the buddy heater here, spinning around. And this is the basic, the small buddy heater. I've got this buddy heater facing towards them, but with enough distance so it's not going to melt the plastic. And then they're inside here with a vent on the top. And what that's allowed me to do is keep this warmer, but I'm getting nowhere near the 95 degrees that I was told I had to get on a regular basis. As you can see, they're pretty chipper. It's been a week now. My only issue with this container is that it's, I think, too small to continue to house the chicks in. So I went and picked up a big one. So I'm going to get this ready and keep you here with me while I do it, and then I'm going to move the chicks from here into here so that they have more room. Need a better roll of paper towels here. I've opted for paper towels for the basic bedding to begin with, and that was on the suggestion of some folks that I've been really paying attention to lately, Hickorycroft Farms, and I'll put a link down below for them as well. And when I was in one of their lives, I said, hey, what should I use for bedding? And their suggestion was, in the beginning, go ahead and just use paper towels, because they won't, if you can use newspaper, but I don't read a newspaper, so that won't do me any good. But if you don't put something down the bottom that they won't slip on, what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with chickens that grow up with like splayed feet and legs. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, I think that's 8. So I'm just lining the bottom of the box. Oh, I got one too many. I'm just lining the bottom of the box with these paper towels. Makes it really easy to clean up too. I was going to stop off today and hit the feed store for some pine shavings. But I wanted to get home. All right, so I've just got them lined up here on the bottom. Before I move the chicks into here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean out their water container, their food container, and I'm going to get both of those placed in here. And then I'm just going to move the chicks from here to here. They have doubled in size since I got them. So, like I was saying before with the heat, when I leave for work, I leave the heater on, and then when I get home, I turn it off. So it won't be on now, and for probably till I get ready to go to bed. So it'll be off now for the next 6 or 7 hours. If it were to get cold in here, then I would, I feel comfortable go ahead and turning that back on again. These buddy heaters I use to keep the trailer warm all winter long. And while it did cost me a little bit more in propane to continue to use the buddy heater, it still is saving me a ton of money over what it would cost me to buy batteries and everything else to get this thing heated with a heat lamp. The breed of chicken that I have is a Rhode Island Red, so they're pretty hardy birds from what I can tell so far. This feeder's really awesome. Like I said, it just screws onto the top of the mason jar here, and that is it. And it just turns right upside down. They seem to trash it and thrash it pretty quick, the bedding in there. And then for water, because I am off grid, the chicks are getting bottled water as well. And it's kind of a gravity feed system with the water. I put apple cider vinegar in this 2 days ago, and I'm basically just going to do apple cider vinegar 2 days a week. And then probably eventually wean it down to 1 day a week. But they seem to be doing great, like I said. And the apple cider vinegar I'm using is organic Bragg's with the mother in it. Alright, I'm going to go here. Alright, we are ready to go. Yeah, they usually get pretty worked up. I'm going to pop the top off. Easy, dude, easy. Calm down. We'll get you skid steer. Yeah, these guys have not only doubled in size, but their feathers are getting really, really pretty. Come on. Come on. All right, guys. That is your new home. Like I said, they trashed the liner on the bottom of this. I was changing that every day, and I've gone down to 3 days a week with it now. We'll scoot you back over here, and let me pull the camera out, the other camera out, and I'll give you a quick view of how these guys are looking right now. So I started with 11 chicks, and they were probably about a third of the size that they are right now 2 weeks ago. And right now I have 11 chicks, so I haven't lost a one. And the one little one that I was most concerned about, the one I call skid steer, he's right underneath there somewhere. I think he's right there. He's doing fine too, feathering out and looking good. And the way that I did this, the way that I kept them warm, because, you know, even this time of the year in the trailer, the mornings are still 20 degrees, 25 degrees, so it's a bit cool in here, is I've used the buddy heater facing towards them, and I'll grab a tape measure and I'll show you about how far away it is. Okay, so from the front of the burner right here, we're looking at about 20 inches away, and on the lowest setting that I can possibly go on this, matter of fact, I'll turn it on and I'll show you. Get the pilot light going. Then I'll turn it to the low setting. And then back it off from the low setting. Hear that noise? Go up just a little bit more. So on the dial here, I'm still just below the low. So on that setting right there, I can feel the heat all the way to here, and it gets nice and warm. And when they're going to lay down, when I've got that on and they're going to lay down right on that front edge right there. I've never seen it get too warm, and by getting too warm, I would imagine that they're going to do what everything I read said they were going to do, and they'll go to the other side where it's cooler. I also have been keeping, when I'm gone at work and when I go to bed at night, I've been keeping the top of this container on here as well, and probably leaving about that much of an air gap all the way across. So a good 3 inches air gap all the way across, so it hangs over the edge here and the air gaps over here. I went with the hardware cloth on top so that I could pull the lid off completely on occasion, and because they're starting to jump to the point where they could just knock the other top off. And that was my big concern. They were trying to jump to the and roost on the top of the feeder of the water when I had the top off completely. So yeah, pretty awesome. A little bit of heat from that. The buddy heater at that low of a setting, one tank will last me 5 days roughly. And I do not, maybe 6 days, I do not leave it on all day long. Like I came home today and I turned it off. And I'm going to turn it off now too.
Good morning from Sean in Alaska. Oh my gosh, first sip of coffee of the day. It's my day off. And it's like 10 minutes of 5 a.m. in the morning. You're probably wondering why the heck I am out on my day off at this time of the morning. Well, that's because I keep promising and threatening to get a image time-lapse video of the sunrise on the mountains on the other side of Cook Inlet for me. And I woke up early enough to, I think, it looks like the sky's pretty darn clear. And hopefully, I didn't sleep too much. The official sunrise is at 5:56 in the morning. And that's an hour away from now, a little over an hour away from now. So hopefully I will make it there with plenty of time to spare to get set up and get a gorgeous time lapse for you guys. Even if I don't, something about getting up early in the morning and going out with the camera that just amazes me. I just love it. All right, I'm gonna get busy. I better focus on where I'm going here. I've already almost spilled my coffee. It splashed over once.
Is that gorgeous or not, or what? I mean, that's incredible. Sunrise here in Alaska just after 5 o'clock in the morning, and beautiful.